Deep breath. Get close. Okay. Alright, so you can admit people in when they are in. So let's start the ball rolling. Now, this is the third webinar, and today I'm going to show you the way to measure your emotions, right? And secret to empower. Now, this secret basically interesting. My definition of secret is when one person knows it's a secret. When 2% know, it's not a secret. When 3% knows, it's open up to the world. So basically, this secret over here, I'm going to be very direct. That is to attract you to come in, because this secret, in fact, most of us know. Right? Potentially, a lot of us neglected it. So today, I'm going to actually show you what exactly is so-called the secret that we can empower our own emotions. And my whole intention here for all this webinar is basically to give you some tools and method to empower yourself during this pandemic. Okay? Now, to start the ball rolling, let me quickly introduce myself. Some of you might be the first time, or some of you have joined my first 2 webinars before. So my name is Dickson Lai. So a brief overview of myself is I classify myself as an evolutionist, because basically my training by profession is a computer engineer 25 years ago. I started people so-called IT. Then I get to interest in human capital of human behavior. That's where I shifted myself in human capital development. I'm a certified ontological coach. So some people might not aware what is the meaning of ontological is to work on your being. Right? So I help others to look into their own essence and move them forward. And during my 10 years ago, I've been with PwC Consulting as a data warehouse analyst. Right? Today we call it data scientist. Right? So I've been analyzing a lot of corporate data in terms of dollars and numbers. Yet I have no interest on that. Currently I'm more interested on analyzing human behavior. Right? So throughout the period for last 7 years, I co-founded the Dickson Lab. That is the journey I've been walking through for the last 7 years. So this is the overview of myself. Right now, what am I going to spend the next 30 minutes together? I'm going to show you 3 things. First, to identify your present state. I always believe that getting to know and realize your present state at every moment is critical. Because I believe every one of us, if we are aware of our state, we can change, we can shift it immediately. Right? So this is a very critical time because of the COVID-19. So that potentially this could be something that you are able to look into yourself. In what state are you in? Then the so-called secret will be revealed to you, which I want you to find the rhythm inside of you. Right? If we have that rhythm, very high potentially, we are able to survive and continue the journey and go beyond what we believe. So for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share with you, right, the knowledge, the experience that I have. Now let's recap back what's going to happen for the last 2 weeks and present. 2 weeks ago, MOC, which is a movement control order, because some of you might be coming from other countries like Kenya, Dubai, some other places. So just a quick explanation. MCO, Malaysia is currently undergoing MCO, means movement control order. You are not allowed to go out freely. So that was 2 weeks ago, before MCO was released. And we predicted that there's a lot of unpleasant things potentially will happen. Right? Now the facts of today have arrived. Right? Malaysia have imposed on the CMCO, which is called Conditional Movement Control Order. We are allowed to go back to our workplace, Right? We are allowed to travel 2 to 4% in a car. Right? Yet there's a lot of restriction like entertainment. We are not able to gather together. So there are 4 critical things that I noticed during this period when people go back to their workplace. Right? And every day, I've been hearing news that unemployment rate is increasing. Especially there's a prediction that in June, it will shoot up double whatever currently. I might not be surprised, right? Yet these are the future. Economic downturn. And interestingly, I always highlight this hygiene requirement because everyone was kind of concerned about this COVID-19. Now, to my surprise, I found a very new, interesting topic with all my friends. I've been asking around, right? What do you feel and what are your fears in this COVID-19? And to my surprise, majority of them are not concerned about COVID-19. They are not concerned about being affected. What their concern is, right, where to find money to get myself tested whether I'm positive or not. So that is a very interesting topic. In fact, they're kind of concerned that do I have enough monetary to pay for my medical bill? Yet another thing that potential will happen will be the mental health. Right? This is where a lot of anxiety and fear during this COVID-19 situation. So previously we predict, now the facts, the new normal is here. So let's recap what I have covered for the last 2 webinars. The first webinar, I introduced a 4 glasses of water. I get you to identify at this moment which glasses of water you have filled. Right? Have you filled up your basic needs? Basic needs is basically 3 things: food, shelter, and sex. These are the 3 basic needs of a human. Right? So knowledge, do you have enough knowledge? So I get you to participate in the game and you identify where are you now. Then I ask a question that where you want to head to, going towards. Right? So many of you have wanted to go towards power and knowledge. Very interesting outcome during the first webinar. Then the second session, I actually introduced the 3 bubbles. Right? Because when you make the decisions or the choice from where are you now to where you want to be, these are the 3 bubbles. It will be inside of you. The first bubble is called desire, whether you want it so strongly that I don't care, I just go for it. The second bubble is emotions. You want it, yet emotionally you're kind of concerned. And when it goes to the third bubble, it's like knowledge. Some people have a lot of desire, yet emotion, they could feel fear or anxiety or even depressed, thinking of the past. They start to gather more knowledge, go and do research. So in computer science, we call it data overflow. When you have too much data, they start to use their logical thought. That is where potentially it might stop you from moving forward. So that's what we have covered for the last seminar, the 3 bubbles. Then I introduce you a very interesting framework created by Dr. Robert Pujic, because he did mention that every human, right? Every human contains 34,000 of kind of emotions. Yet do we realize our emotions? It's kind of complex framework, and yet he has simplified in 8 categories. And what we have covered is the 3 rings. Right? The outside ring, which is impacted by environment. Right? Environment will impact your emotion, yet you might not be aware of that. Then we go into a second ring. When you start to feel the emotion, you start to express it. That is the moment when you need to start to look into solving your emotion or take some action inside of you. Now, if you do not do that, very high chances you're going to get into a third ring. When you get into a third ring, it's very difficult to get out. So I've explained the 3 rings. Then I've also looked at the reflection. When you feel joy over here, what is the reflection of opposite side, which is your sadness. So this is one of the way that we measure our emotions. For example, I feel joy, and you also tell me that I'm joyful also. Yet, your joy and my joy might not be the same. And the question is, how do we measure your joy and my joy? Right? Based on this framework, I will measure against my saddest moment, the moment that I feel sad. And at this moment, I compare with that moment, that's where I feel joy. So if you say, I feel fear, what is your fear? It could be opposite side, could be the anger. So what I've covered is the reflection of each other. So basically, that is the three things that I've concluded the last two webinars. And this webinar, I'm going to give you another new framework that it might potentially empower you. My intention is to move you forward with your own emotions. Right? Because during this CMCO, Conditional Movement Control Order, right, I have categorized three things that in the context of when you go back to the workforce, when you went back to your workplace. So these are the three categories that I heard from all my friends that have been telling me when they've been back to their workplace, I feel distant. Why do I feel distant? Because everyone was wearing a mask. In the old days, I can see their smile. Yet at this moment, I couldn't even know whether they're smiling or not. So very interesting. Some companies, they have stopped having a meeting together, sitting around table. Where else? They told me that they're having an online meeting while they are in the same office. Even to the extent of during lunchtime, they'll be sitting isolated. So they feel I'm distant. And another set of friends told me that I'm more clearer now. I feel, because when they went back to office, they realized that a lot of things was unknown, yet that moment they feel more clear. They have experienced the standard operating procedure have been in place, the hygiene have been in place. And one of the sad things that I heard, I got feedback from them is many of them, they come back to me and say that I got a pay cut of 20%, I got a pay cut of 30%. Now the boss want me to actually take my annual leave, cut down my annual leave. And in June, because of the long festive season, they potentially will allow us to go back once a week. Right? So they are clearer, yet they're creating a lot of fear inside of them. So when they start to realize the facts is happening in front of them, fear will kick in. So many of them also talk about, I'm fear what's going to happen for the next few months. I'm fear, is this thing going to continue for the next 1 year? And potentially this COVID-19 is going to last for another year, because the world, the WHO haven't come up with a real vaccine to overcome this virus. So during this CMO and during this presentation, I'm going to base on this context of the people that I go back to workplace, I feel distant, I'm clearer, and I'm fear. So I'm going to set this as a context. Now, the first question I normally ask people is, how far can you travel? Interesting, right? Now we've been driving our car. Every Malaysian here as an adult, normally we own a car. I believe most of you own a car and most of you drive a car. So my question is, how far can you travel? So from one destination to another destination, if you know the distance, right, you're aware of the road ahead. Now imagine you elevate yourself into higher ground and you look down, just like this picture. You are able to see the road clearer. Yet, it's a long way to go. If you look at the end of the road, you might not be able to see it. And surrounding there are mountains. And these are environment. Right? You never know what are the forests coming in out with any animals. There are a lot of uncertainty. If you elevate yourself, you tend to notice that. Right? You're traveling to a space that you might not know it. Some people can see short term, some people might not see long term. So the question I'm asking us is, how far can we travel? And why some of us are able to travel that far constantly, that we're achieving things again and again and again. Even some of my friends, elderly person, although this is the first time that they face COVID-19, in the past, they have a lot of unpleasant experience, yet they survive and they continue. So I've been asking them, what triggered them to move on? And one of the many quote that came back to me, the feedback, one of the sentences I like is that you need to survive. All you need is to survive, right? And you can travel that far. Right? Keep yourself survive in every situation. Then my next question again, how do you survive? I'm now almost drowned. Right? Momentum, keep the pace. Yeah. Keep the pace, continue doing what you do well. So then the answer came out. Are you referring to rhythm? Are you referring to the rhythm, the pattern of the rhythm that's inside of you? Right. So that's where it came to me that the rhythm. Every one of us have the rhythm. In order for you to travel a distance, or travel to an unknown, right? There's a lot of discomfort inside of you. Yet, what holds us on to continue that journey is the rhythm inside of us. Just like listening to music. If you like certain music, you notice your body move. Yet, if you hear some unpleasant music, you tend to shut your ear. So music is like a rhythm. Right? If you are able to capture the rhythm inside of you, chances are you have that stamina to continue to do what you want to do. Even at this particular moment, the COVID-19, the pandemic, a lot of us are unclear. And there's a lot of negative feedback coming from news, coming from newspaper, or all these unpleasant things. So we got to actually create that rhythm inside of us. So I'm going to play a game here. To me, they are categorized 4 types of rhythm, which related to 4 types of music. So are you ready for game? I believe you are ready because I don't hear any answer. So the first type of rhythm music that I like is called sentimental. Sentimental music is like slow. When you listen to it, you feel happy, active personality, kind of things. Very nice, slow and easy. Second type of music is called pop and rock. Sometimes when you hear pop music, even when you walk, you tend to jumping a bit. You feel the rhythm. Very nice, right? And the fourth type of music, I call it classical and opera. This is something like you have a monotone, suddenly you raise the pitch so high and you get excited and you come down a bit and you raise the pitch high. It's just like classical or opera music. Whereas this can give you some enthusiasm to move on. And the fourth type of music, I call it hard rock. Hard rock. When you listen to it, you get inspired, you get motivated. I want to go all the way. So what I want you to do is, I want you to choose one of the four, right? Which one do you like? Which one that represent your rhythm inside of you? When you listen to this kind of music, you just love it. You just fall into it. So later, you go to the chat there, you just type 1, 2, 3, or 4. Now, let me give you more example. What kind of, how do I classify 1, 2, 3, and 4? I want to show you what kind of music I like, who are the singers that I like. First, let's talk about sentimental music. I like this singer called George Michael. I'm not sure whether some of you are aware of it. So there's a very famous song that I like, it's called Careless Whisper. So whenever I hear that song, I just feel very comfort inside of me. If you are above 40 years old, like me, above 40, 45, right, you will probably heard of this song. So whoever are 90s, born in the 90s, you might not aware of this. Yet this is, I classify as sentimental. I love this song. Then when you come to pop and rock, I like this singer called Maroon 5. I believe a lot of you heard of his song. When you listen to his song, you even tend to jump a bit. You will go along with the rhythm. Very good singer. Then when it comes to classical opera, it's kind of difficult for me to select this singer. Initially I do not know who I want to choose. So suddenly I came across this singer called Adele. And one of her song called Set Fire to the Rain. You notice that his tone is like monotone. Suddenly it goes so high and down. It really inspired me. So this is what I classify as classical opera. Then it comes to rock music, hard rock music. Alright. I love this lady called Lady Gaga. Whenever I feel down, I just play her music. I get motivated and move on. So these are the 4 categories of music that I classify. So I would like you to go to the chat there and type which one you love the most. Are you ready? So let's see, do I have a timer here? Yes, I have a timer. And by now you should have selected this. Okay? So later my team will compile and let's review what you have selected. Because every music, every song, it does represent the rhythm inside of you. And that rhythm potentially will show whether you have this stamina to overcome this COVID-19. Now, before I get the result, let's continue. So, the next question I'm going to ask is, what exactly is emotions? It's a kind of difficult question to answer. Some of you might start to throw some thought that emotion is joy, emotions are feeling happy, or emotions are sad. As long as you are able to describe, right, or describe that emotions, these are not emotions. Emotion is something that you're not able to express it or describe it. Emotion is something that vibrates inside of us. When something upfront happens, you just feel a lot of discomfort inside of you. Yet it's so difficult for us to express it out. Some of us will say it's fear. Why not? It's just something vibrating. So emotion is just a vibration. And what is vibration? Vibration is when two things collect together, it creates vibration. Vibration is like a wave. So emotion is a wave. Now, am I right to say that whenever you listen to certain music, your emotion changes? For example, when I ask you to select the type of music that you like, right? When you listen to that, eventually you have certain emotion vibrating in there. When you listen to sentimental music, for me, I feel peace, calm. Right? When you listen to rock music like Lady Gaga, you notice that you're firing up. Now, very interesting. Right? Music are able to measure by the 12 musical notes. The C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, and then F. Right? So whoever play music, when you start to learn, you learn the musical note. Right? Now, why can't we measure emotions? Emotion is the same thing as a wave. So what I did is, what if I map all the musical notes to the related emotions? So this is the way that you get to realize certain type of music, you tend to connect with certain emotions. So this is the correlation between music and emotions. Interesting, right? Now let's look at the numbers here. Do we have the numbers ready? Okay, now very nice. Majority of you, right, say that you love sentimental music. Cool, right? So you want good news first or bad news first? Anyway, no one answer me. I will start with the good news. Okay. The good news is, when you start off with sentimental music, means that you're a person who take it slowly yet surely. Okay. You're not a person that really aggressive, yet the good news is you have the stamina to walk through the entire journey. Imagine if I ask you to go for a marathon, if you never train for a marathon runner, if I ask you to run at a high speed, you might not be able to complete the marathon. Yet, if I get you to walk at your pace, slowly, surely, potentially you'll finish the entire marathon. So that is a good news. The no good news is, potentially you're not able to cope up with what is up front. Because something could happen up there, you're not able to drive it towards it as fast as you want. Then the second, the lowest, I have thought about the highest percentage of people that say, I love slow, sentimental music. The lowest is they like pop and rock music. So far, this is the lowest, and pop and rock music is a person who have rhythm. Now, when you connect with somebody who loves pop and rock music, you notice that they are very friendly, they are very lively. Even when they walk, you can feel the rhythm inside of them. So maintain that. Because this is the space that's in between the fast and the slow. Notice here, the three note here. Right? It's in between slow and going fast. So if you like pop music, chances are you have the rhythm inside of you. You are able to maintain the same rhythm, the same pattern. Whether the pace is moving too fast, yet you have the same rhythm. Now, classical and hard rock music, right, both of them have the same numbers. Right? So let's talk about hard rock. Right? Notice hard rock music means that these are the people that they're like go-getter. If I use cars, for example, if I use cars, these are the people, they drive like Formula One. You know Formula One? Super fast car, right? Very good. Right? These are the people, when they want to achieve something, they will go all the way. Yet my question to them is, do you have the stamina to move right, at that high speed, because you have no idea how long it's going to last you. Bear in mind, during this COVID-19, there is no destination at all. Everyone are experiencing a journey. So when we are experiencing a journey, right, do we have that stamina to sustain in the unknown? We might be able to achieve something in the shortest period of time, yet when we almost get to the end, potentially we feel tired. So it's a food of thought for you. Now let's look at classical opera music. Very interesting. Classical opera music, if you notice the rhythm of the music, it will be monotone. Suddenly it goes up and come down. So this is like a big heartbeat going up again. I need to take action. For a while, you slow down again. I need to take action. For a while, you slow down. So there's no good or bad, right or wrong. Yet, potentially, the environment could have shaped you in such a way that, right, when things move fast, you will follow. When things slow down, you tend to stay back. So this is the rhythm. What I'm looking at is, what are the rhythm inside of you? Maintain the rhythm. Right? Go along with the flow. Go along with the rhythmic pattern. As long as you are able to do the same thing again and again with the same rhythm, right, and you are good at something, master it again and again. Somehow, when the real destination arrives, you will achieve it. Now, my quote for you today is, a strong, regular, repeated pattern of movement will keep you on the move. Notice this picture here. You have no idea how long or how far can we travel. Yet, you got to survive in this situation. Maintain your rhythm. Right? I'm not asking you to stop there. Maintain the rhythm. Right? Repeat it on the move. Keep doing something. Right? Ultimately, when this thing over, right, when you look back, you tend to achieve something in life. So if you get to understand your rhythm, chances are, right, you are able to sustain the entire COVID-19. So the secret here is, if you get to aware of the kind of music that you like, whenever you feel uncomfortable, play that music. That music is a representative of your rhythm inside of you. When you start to play that music, that's where you keep the beat, you keep the rhythm, you keep the pattern, keep on going. So music is one of the fundamental things that move us. Just imagine, if you go to any places, if you play the music that you like, you notice your emotion just shifted. If you like the kind of music, that's where you start to empower your emotions. So if you start to feel in your workplace that I'm distant, right, allow that rhythmic pattern inside of you to get yourself reconnect with your colleague, reconnect with your friend if you start to feel distant. If you're clearer with what the company is going to move forward, it could be very negative thought. Right? Yet, this can become a fact. Do not stop that rhythm. Continue, move on. Go back to my webinar 1. What have you choose for yourself? If you have chosen knowledge, continue the rhythm to achieve better knowledge. Right? To empower yourself. When the MCO is ready to release and the economy is back, you are ready to capture that opportunity. If at this moment when you walk back to your workplace, you feel fear, what's going to happen for the next 6 months? Am I going to be jobless? Right? And is my business badly hit? Potentially, it will. Right? Yet you can't stop there. You gotta keep on the move. Do something. I always believe that if you take action, there will be a reaction back to you. So my whole intention here is to get you to empower yourself with rhythm. Right? Move forward. So that will conclude. My God, I've extended my time again. It's more than 30 minutes. So apologize for that. My next webinar will be what makes you stand out after MCO. We have talked about during MCO. Right, webinar 1. Webinar 2, we are releasing our MCO. Webinar 3, today that we are under CMCO, which we are back to workforce. Now, what if 2 weeks ago, by the way, next week, because it's a long festive season, right? For the Muslim, I would like to wish you a happy Hari Raya. Right? For the non-Muslim, stay safe, stay home. So, potentially 2 weeks later, I will have another seminar to continue this series. What makes you stand out after MCO? What makes you different from others after the MCO? Right. So a quick introduction of the Dickson Laboratory, which I call it the Dickson Lab. Over here, we do 3 things. We assess your well-being, then we activate your well-being, and we want to accelerate in the shortest period of time. To me, time is my competition. If we are able to accelerate you to what you want to be, that is a great success. So that is where what Dickson Lab is doing. Now, during this situation, I've been hearing a lot of very unpleasant news coming from my friends and even all my clients that many of my clients, they are facing unemployment. Some of them, they are feeling they do not know where they want to move towards in the career. So I acknowledge that all of you willing to join the webinar because you want to look for, potentially they are looking for something. With that, my team and myself, I have decided that to give you, to support back humanity during this period. So what we can offer back is, whoever attend the webinar, you can have one-to-one session with me. At the same time, we are opening up our assessment. Now again, this assessment that we talk about is not a question and answer. It's not something that you fill in on the website. Basically, this assessment is a very unique assessment coming from your voice. Right? So all you need is just speak to the mic, then the report will generate, and the report will show what are the musical rhythm inside of you. Recently, we have tested the system that we can use online. Yet, if you are interested, we need your cooperation to set up a small little software on your notebook. Then from there, we'll capture our voice and the report can be generated. And from there, I will have one-to-one session to go through your report with you. Our intention here is to empower you further so that we together can overcome this COVID-19, this pandemic. By the time when we are back to normal, chances are we are giving back, we are recreating the economy. So all this unemployment, recession or career situation will be away. So if you are interested, I believe my team have a link for you later on. You just need to go there and submit your request. Then they will set appointment with you to go through the assessment, and they will set the time for me to go through your report. So I hope this session will give you a clearer kind of framework to empower yourself through rhythm. That is a secret. It's not really a secret because it has been there for many years. Unfortunately, a lot of us neglected the rhythm inside of us. So I hope you get valuable insight. And pass back to you, Alicia. See whether there's any question that I need to answer.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Dickson. Okay, so anyone, do you have any question to ask to Dr. Dickson? You can chat your question on the chat room. Okay, Doctor, we have a question, but what if our rhythm is not to our liking?
So, if you understand the framework of the wheel of emotion, if the rhythm is not your liking, potentially the reflection of the other side is the rhythm that you like. Okay. So you go check back that particular framework. So I'm just curious, okay? If that particular rhythm is not what you like, then my question is, what do you like? So that could be a question for you to explore yourself.
Okay. And then I am in one of the situation and looking for something that's suitable for me. What will you suggest me?
Interesting question. This is very personal. At this moment, I'll suggest is sign up for the one-to-one session and the assessment that we offer. So potentially during that one-to-one session, you can highlight to us what exactly you want. And by the way, this one-to-one session is very private and confidential. It will not release to the public or anywhere. It's between you and me, right? Until I get your consent, whether certain part of the conversation can be used to the public for our practice or market purpose. Otherwise, all these are private and confidential because that conversation between you and me is only you and me. Right? So I suggest whoever asks this question, please, right, do engage us, not engage, do subscribe to our free service. The team and myself are willing to fully support at this moment in our journey because we are not the same, yet we are in the same boat. Okay. Any?
Next, from Lim Jessica. Thank you, Dr. Lai, for the valuable insight. Dr. Lai, one may have various combinations of rhythm depending on moods. I think this is a statement, maybe.
Yep. Yeah, true. It's totally agree. One could have multiple musical because the environment does impact us, right? Yet fundamentally, what I'm pointing here is what is the rhythm inside of you, right, that hold you to move further. That is the critical part.
Okay, Dr. Dickson. Next question. What happens if our rhythm is changing depends on current situation?
Yes, it does. If you look at the framework, emotion of will, the environment does impact us. When the environment impacts us, we might not aware of the emotion that changes. Yet, when you go to the second ring, when you start to aware of the emotions inside of you, whether it's fear, joy, sad, now this is the moment you need to take action. This is the moment you need to rediscover what is the real rhythm inside of you. Now, if we do not, what if we just neglect, never mind, it's okay. Right? And this environment is not going to change. It's going to suppress you further and further. And by the time you get into the third ring, it's so difficult for you to get out again. So I always encourage people, when you start to feel that kind of emotion, do something about it. Especially at this moment, I believe, because we are embarking on the same journey of the MCO. Although we are not, we are different. Everyone is different. Yet we are embarking on the same journey. Right? Every one of us are feeling something inside of us. It could be fear, anxiety. Now, the question is, what are we going to do about it?
All right, next question from Parveen. Is it possible that we like some other rhythm, but in character we are not the same as the rhythm we like?
Possible, yes. This is what we call conflict. Right? A lot of us, we conflict. In some simple analogy, it's like they say our brain, our mind, and our heart is not congruent. So that is, again, if rhythm is just like a flow of water. Imagine the river. Right? Where does the water come from in the river? It comes from the high mountain, all the way to the sea, from the top to the bottom. Now, these are the flow. And eventually, there will be one big rock right in the middle of the flow, and what will happen to the water is splash out. That was the moment you get conflict. You do not know what to do. So again, what can we do to remove that rock, which could be a potential blockage to us, and we allow the rhythm to flow again? So I hope you get the metaphor of the river, how it flows.
All right. Next, how do I know what type of music I like if I am no interest in music?
Interesting, yes. Right. All I can do is, I can say is, go and subscribe for the free assessment. Allow technology to rediscover what are the rhythm, what are the music that you like. Potentially, you might be able to find some realization. As long as you create awareness, chances are you are able to unleash yourself quicker.
Okay, I think the last one. How to explore the right rhythm in us?
Explore the right rhythm in us. Again, I encourage you to go and take the free assessment, right? Because you will be surprised when you try out the assessment. As I say, it's not something that you answer question over online, because when we answer question, most of the time I believe this opinion, because when you start answering some question, you will start to recall your experience and your knowledge, right? That are coming of what you know. What this technology, they call it EmoWave, does is, all you need is just speak to the mic in any language, right? Whether it's Bahasa, English, Japanese, Korean, doesn't matter. Even you shout, you doesn't matter. Once we collected that particular rhythm of your voice, the report will churn out, and it will show the rhythm inside of you. And the best part of the report is, it also show you what are the emotions that empower you moving forward, and what are the emotions that disempower you. And the last most important part is, do you realize that our emotion does impact our physical well-being? If you feel sad all the time, chances are your body are not in a good shape. And this assessment will also show you what are your physical body well-being at this moment. Especially for this, during this pandemic moment, what we are concerned is not about getting the virus. We are concerned about is, do we have the money to go and test if we are affected. So rather than we kind of anxiety for that, right? Try out the assessment and show what are the emotions. And I believe that if your emotions are being empowered, there's no virus are going to come inside of you, because our mind, right, is the what they call the control center of our body.
Okay, another last question again. Okay. Hi, Dr. Lai. Do you provide group consultation or group coaching?
Yes, we do. Right. Yet for this session, I don't suggest group because it's going to read the assessment. Now, if you would like to have a group consultation or group assessment, most of the time we do it for a team or corporation. Right. Then I will encourage to be somebody that you know together, right? Because potentially we're going to review something that inside of you. And yes, the answer is we do provide the kind of group coaching or group consulting.
Okay, sorry, Doctor. Still got
Sure.
question. Doctor, is it rhythm will change when he or she facing a problems? Example, sentimental when facing a big problem and other rhythm when happy?
Yes. Now, music does change inside of us, although we are having this sentimental rhythm inside. Now, what if the environment suddenly have this anger? It's going to collide or conflict with your rhythm inside. Now, this is what I'm pointing here. Are you able to aware the present state during that moment? If you are aware of that particular state, you can actually change your rhythm inside of you to comply with whatever external going to affect. In short layman's term, is called that, are you able to change your state within seconds? Changing the state means changing the rhythm inside. Now, some of us, or a lot of us, when we change state, we change to a very disempowering state. That is where all the anger, all the argument, all this debate are coming about. So again, you got to aware of what are your state at that moment.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Dickson, for the knowledge sharing session. So I hope we all get to learn something new through this session. If you have any inquiries, please do reach out to Condition Zebra or the Dickson Lab. So in order to claim for your free gifts, you are required to subscribe and provide a comment on our YouTube video. We will send you the details on this tomorrow through email. So don't forget to subscribe and comment, yeah? Until then, have a good day and thanks again for attending the webinar. I will end the session now. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.